Welcome to another episode of the Philip Hartley podcast. I'm your host, Philip Hartley, hence in the name. Now, what I want to talk about on this podcast is basically just about integrity and suffering and the challenges we may face. Because I read it online somewhere I think I tweeted it. Well, I did tweet it. In fact, I'll say it just so it's word for word. I think I read it somewhere and I just tweeted it. The more brutal something is challenged, the higher quality the answers. If something can withstand brutal attacks, is a hallmark of its integrity. So it's this idea that basically, it's the more something is attacked, that forces higher quality answers. Saint Thomas Aquinas, he wrote something called the Summa Theologica. And basically, it's an absolute masterpiece. What's incredible about his masterpiece, he says it's like straw compared to the glory of God, something like that. But the idea is that he gives very high sophisticated answers, but before he does that, he basically puts the highest quality challenges he can. Basically, the more he challenges what his own beliefs, the higher quality the answers. So, I don't know, it just seems to be a lot of patterns in life, don't there? It's perhaps the challenges we face in life, the harder the challenge, the more is demanded from us, the higher quality of what is demanded from us. If that makes sense. And it's just this thing about, I think in life, when we do something, we want to hit that sweet spot, don't we? It's like, I've heard it termed before, the optimal zone of development. You know, when you just say like, oh, I'm in the zone now. You know, when things just like, everything just clicks together. It's like, you're in the zone. It might be like when you're playing a football match or a sports game, and you're not thinking about yourself. It's just like, things just flow. You don't have to think about things much. Like, there's the right amount of challenge that also the right amount of ability that gives the optimal zone of development. And give it in the context of football, it's just like we've got the right difficulty of team that matches the right ability. They produce the best matches, don't they? Look at the World Cup final, France and Argentina. Very similar ability, and that's what an amazing match that was. Whereas if you get France-Croatia, no disrespect to Croatia, but I mean, generally speaking, I think people get what I'm saying. If you on paper, France just naturally better team, aren't they? 4-1 up, got to 4-2 because of just a goalkeeping error. But the final wasn't as good, wasn't as entertaining. So like in most things, a 6-0 thrashing for the neutral, it's not as good because the ability and the challenge, I don't think they're as intrinsically close as they could be. There's this idea of like, there's that idea, isn't there, extremes meet. But when you've got that right amount of challenge, so maybe God allows the suffering and challenges of life because he knows he wants us to grow, and he knows that's how we're going to get to where he wills us to be. And so if you basically had a football match, you've got like a Division 1 team against a Division 10 team. Yes, Division 1 teams probably go win like 10-0. They probably won't grow as much as players, probably won't improve as much as they could. So it just shows, is the objective to win? Or is the objective to grow? And I do believe by growing at the right level that you could, optimizing that growth, that is the win, if that makes sense. So like the win isn't necessarily, is the win in the result, or is the win the result of the journey, or the result of the growth, if that makes sense. Is that thing of journey and destination, isn't there? So I think food for thought, something to think about. But applying this to my faith as well, the Catholic Church, look at that, like how many attacks that's had against it, and it stands. All these people we respect, they usually have a lot of attack, don't they? It's like, who, I think someone said this to me 5 years ago, and I think it stuck with me. It's who's the most popular person in the room. It's a lot of the time it's that person, like the fat person. Or that's just that person who's just not going anywhere in their life because people like to be around that person because they don't feel bad about themselves. Whereas if you basically look to shine and you look to grow and look to go somewhere, look to do something in your life, it makes people around you, it can make people around you feel a bit insecure, and they'll be like, hold up, like, and people can try and pull you down thinking, because it makes them feel bad. And I feel like if you're searching and you're looking to become the best version of yourself, looking to grow close to Jesus, just looking to be the best you, who you're called. I think who we're called to be is the best you. I think you got people respond in two ways usually. You get people on one path who basically get bitter and resentful, and they basically try and pull you down and stop you because it makes them feel bad, and it basically exposes the flaws in their own life that expose their own insecurities, and they try and critique you, and basically, or just give you the cold shoulder. Do you know what I mean? Just that's one way people can do it. They be a bit cold towards you. Or you've got the other hand, you've got people who are inspired by that and thinking, yes, that inspires me. I want to be like you. I want to be like that. And they sort of encourage you, and I want to see you grow as well. Because it's like by encouraging others, we encourage ourselves in a sense, I believe. But yeah, I think it's, I said food for thought. I want to finish this though. It's something, there's a film. It's called Coach Carter. Samuel L. Jackson stars in it, and I think it's a good movie. I do rate it. I think it came out in like 2005. And just to give you a bit of context, the movie, you've got this basketball team in Richmond. Their manager's a bit like, or their coach is a bit, I don't know, he's a bit passive, a bit disillusioned, I think, of the team. And basically, he leaves the team. The team is